So, the season's over. Unfortunately, I didn't win the championship. It all sort of fell apart the last round, which is sad to say, but it's racing, it happens. And I'm just explaining it a bit really. So, I took the two bikes. I was going to race Polly, the pink bike, on the Sunday. I took the purple one here to practice on the Saturday. I tested both on the Saturday, and ultimately the purple one was the better bike for the track. It handled so much better on the flatted open fields. So I came in, had a word with my dad, and says we're going to race the purple bike on the Sunday. So re-prepped it, and yeah, all went well. Set off, got to the line. World's worst start again as usual. This thing, it starts up and then it dies, and then it starts up and it dies. Unfortunately, there's no GoPro because for some reason it didn't charge. So I turned it on the line and it just went and turned itself straight back off again. And again, so last off the start, made a pass about 3 corners in, and then just sat the first lap in, I think it was 4th. Yeah, and then by the end of lap 2, I came up, so lap 2, I made a pass on 4th in the fields. Again, 3rd ran wide, but I passed on 3rd in the fields. 2nd, which was David Thomas at the time, who went on to win it, ran wide, so I got in front there on a corner. And then Charlie Britton was in 1st. He was having a really good race. Coming towards the end of the 2nd lap, coming down towards pit lane, where you've got to slow to walking pace. Because the track was so wet, everybody was letting off and slowing down probably 50 metres before you needed to go to walking pace. So I saw an opportunity there, and he had 2 sports quads behind him, and again they were doing the same thing. So I shot well down the outside on the straight and clicked the back brake and slid it in around him into pit lane sideways and near enough backwards to make a pass. Luckily, right in front of the old man, and he gave us a little clap for that and said that were a bloody good pass. So again, pushed on. Another 2 laps in first, building a nice little gap. Sorry, about 10-15 seconds a lap. And then come to about an hour and 40 left. So we'd done about 50 minutes, close to an hour at this point. As I come through pit lane and come to put the power at the end, I had something like a misfire. And I thought, a bit odd. And then it just cleared up and went. And carried on the lap, whatever. And at this point, David got into 2nd and caught right up to me. Knowing that I only had to finish the race, I wanted to win, obviously, because that's racing, you want to go and win. But I wasn't risking anything, and I probably wasn't pushing as hard as I could. But again, all I had to do was technically finish, and I would have had the championship, but things didn't go to plan. So again, the misfire, and then probably halfway around the lap, quarter way through the lap, he came past me. And then, so I was in 2nd. I was chasing him, just keeping well on him, thinking, sit behind him for a couple of laps and I'll go to make a pass and hopefully go back for the win. Come out the end of the field section and my bike just went brrr, and I thought, it's dying. Why is it dying? Kept the power on, tried to keep it going. It went going for a little bit longer, and then just dropped onto the motocross track and it went brrr, stopped. Just stopped. Thought, right, is the battery dead? Is something? Try clicking to start it. It just wouldn't turn over at all. Thought, what have we done? And it was that muddy you couldn't push it, and the bike was probably covered in about 80 kilos worth of mud. You just couldn't do anything. So I asked if I could get towed round to the finish line. They said no, because that's the rules, which is fair enough. So if I got towed to the finish line, I was just going to push it over, and I'd done over half the laps at that point, so I would have just taken the finish. But they couldn't do that, so I got towed back to the pits. At which point we looked pulled off a plastic piece and thought, have I sucked a bit of shit into the air filter? No. And then for some odd reason, Dad checked the oil, bone dry. And I thought, oh, shit. So it had seized, which is brilliant. So this bike is officially dead at the moment. It wouldn't even it was locked up. It wouldn't turn over. So what did we do then? We just had a look around, and obviously being no oil in it, we knew it had seized. So there wasn't much we could do. So went and got the other one out and towed it back to the wagon and put it away, because that was me done at that point. Because you're not allowed to use your second bike, which is again fair, completely fair. You can't say otherwise apart from the rules. But I've come back and I found a punctured oil filter. So a stone or something's got underneath it, and I've had a little bit of frame flex or something, or it's punctured it, and it's gone bone dry. The only saving grace I could possibly have is if it hasn't spun the rod bearings or the crank bearings. I'm not sure which ones are. I'll be able to rebuild it. But if it's spun them and scored the journals where the bearings sit, then it's a new block. And it's a new block. By the time you found one of them, it's a new engine. It goes from a £1,500 rebuild to redo everything to nearly £5,000 to find a new block. Which is, if you can find them, you can get one bit cheaper than that, but it's finding one. If not, it's from Polaris and it's £4,000, which I'm not willing to spend. So I'll probably just sit on it and wait until one comes up. But I haven't got down to that point yet. I need to take it apart and figure it out. We do have the third bike engine, so I can still have two up and running at all times, which I'm fine with. I'm just absolutely bummed because I felt like it was my year to win a championship, but obviously not. Things happen for a reason. Other than that, I'm obviously, I was pretty upset about it, but we're going to carry on racing, as you do. You don't let it beat you. But I am going up next year without winning the championship. David Thomas obviously won it, which is massive congratulations to him. Considering this, let's just, without trying to sound like a cock, first race of the year, I lapped him. And then you come to last race of the year and he's pushing me like he's come on fucking leaps and bounds. Like, you can't say otherwise. But I'm going to go up because it's about time. I've been in the club and class for quite a long time. And it's just time to go up, take the challenge. It won't be a year of winning, it'll be a year of learning. But that's what you're meant to do. And obviously with going over to the US this year, it has massively opened my eyes to how they do things over there and what the speed like's over there. So obviously the quicker I can get, if I ever get a chance to go back over to the US, then brilliant. I'll be even quicker and I can compete more. When I went over there, the speed difference was crazy between obviously myself and the pro guys. I mean, the pro for a reason. But wasn't too bad between the average rider. The gap from me, I would say now, to the bottom end of pro class in the US, maybe bottom to mid end of pro class in the US, is no different to the gap from me now to our 4x4 experts, which is our version of 4x4 Pro if you're watching this in the US. So whatever I can learn next year and speed I can increase is reducing the deficit to anything I go and take on the challenge of in the US. Speaking of, that was a brilliant trip. I'm hoping to do it again. Chris Willett is an absolute hero for even allowing me the logistics of doing it, and I really do hope to repay the favour and he can come over here and we can get something done the same on one of these. That's about sums up this year. We had, 6 rounds over 5 weekends, which were really good tracks. I'm really happy that DQR is running and it's a brilliant club. I just wish we could ride more. I wish it was back to an 8-round championship. I can remember when we used to do 8-round championships. I understand everybody's busy and time constraints, and I mean, Chris, who runs the club, he's got his own 2 lads and they race and they do motocross as well. So nothing but thank you to him for taking the time to actually do it. But yeah, it's spend a lot of money to race 5 weekends a year. However, it's racing 5 weekends a year rather than racing nothing. So yeah, that's 2025 done and dusted. 6 races, 3 wins. What's 3 wins? 4 wins? 4 wins. Yeah, 4 wins. 3 were obviously 2.5 hour races. 1 was the sprints. Round 3 I had a mechanical DNF, and round 6 I had a mechanical DNF as well. Round 3 the power steering went, and that track was just absolutely abysmal, which was not even worth riding. Not even worth riding around with no power steering. And round 6 I've obviously seized the engine. So I think it puts me to 3rd in the championship, which still a good result by all stretch, but without sounding like a cock, it's not winning. And this year I wanted to win. So pretty upset about it, but that's what happens. It's racing. I just want to say thank you to sponsors, friends, family, anyone who's taken time to watch any of these or even say well done or ask me how I'm going. It really does mean a lot. Sponsors wise, you've got DP Brakes that have been stopping me all year long. I mean, the pads are still performing and they've got nothing but abuse and hours on them. Still got plenty of meat left on them as well. Performing just as good as when I put them on. Tireline and CRP and Beltline, these guys are the best. Tireline provide me with tyres all year. Beltline provide me with the best Ultimax belts there is, the XP series. And CRP just helping absolutely every way possible. That was through Mike and Jackie and Richard down at Tireline. Awesome people. And Jason at Beltline and Ultimax. Thank you so much. So, and then Shane at Dirt Wars, or Dynamics Graphics now, is it? Providing me 2 brilliant graphics kits that made me look good all year. At least look good on the photos. So, yeah, hopefully send them all of them something. Say a massive thank you. And then last but not least, Congleton Garden Machinery, which is Polaris Quad UK, sorting me out with parts whenever I need them. Quick delivery times, always reachable on the phone. Any issues, they sort it out straight away. They are top class outfit. Yeah, so I'm just going to rebuild this. I'm going to get the other one up and running. Got to wash off poly yet. This has had a wash, believe it or not. It was a lot worse. Got to wash off the other one. I'm just going to get all hands on deck. I'm hoping to be everything done before Christmas. So if the opportunity arises to practice anywhere, or I can get on with other things then, start of next year. There's no reason. This is going to stay as a rolling frame. I'm just going to take the engine out, swap the engine. So then it can be straight back up and running again. Got a couple of bits to do, like seat cover, a couple of bits on the brakes need bleeding and all sorts. But other than that, my parts that I did test survived-ish. This whole front end is made of plastic, and you would never believe it. Apart from these aluminium pieces just holding it together. It stayed together really well. That radiator is held in there solid, not moving. The only thing that did go wrong was the upright bits here on the side. Don't know if you can see. I'll put a little clip in a minute. Have snapped off. So I just need to strengthen them up, but I'll do a close-up in a second. That's what it is. Brilliant. So yeah, I've got the intakes to test. Unfortunately, I had an issue with them before I got to test them on the Saturday. But yeah. See you all in 2026. Year of learning, and I'm hoping to pick up the odd podium, whatever I can get my hands on. I am more than happy to have in that expert class, because it is full of quick riders. So yeah, thank you very much. hopefully see you with some good looking bikes for next year.